Today we'll be showing you guys how to lubricate the front suspension and front swing arms on your Apollo Pro. For this repair, you're going to need a rubber mallet, a 3/4 suspension spanner tool, a punch, two 6mm Allen keys, a plastic kitchen knife or something long enough to get into the holes of the suspension, and extreme pressure grease. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the rubber caps that cover our screws. You can use a small Allen key to remove these rubber parts. And now we are going to start by removing the pins that hold the suspension. For this, you'll need two 6mm Allen keys. When doing this, you might notice that they are very, very tight. Feel free to apply some heat to the area using a heat gun or hair dryer to loosen up the Loctite pre-applied from the factory. So the screw is loose on this side, and now we'll loosen the bottom pin. So next, we'll just punch out our pins. Start by punching the top one. And that's one. Make sure not to lose the little bushings that go into the holes. Same thing for this one. We'll just punch it out. And again, same thing. Watch out for the bushings and make sure to remember which pin is which. The longer pin will go on the bottom, the shorter pin will go on the top. Now we'll just pull out our suspension, put it to the side. So next, we are going to give everything a nice cleaning. When cleaning everything down, we recommend you use 99% alcohol, as this will really make sure that everything is clean. And same thing for the suspension itself. If there's any lubricant on it or dirt and debris, just give it a clean. Now that we've got those parts clean, we'll also give a little bit of a wipe down around here, including the holes. Before we start any lubricating processes, we are going to loosen the swing arm pins. It's the same thing, 6mm Allen keys, and if it is extremely tight for you, do not be afraid to use some heat. That's that. Again, we will punch it, but this time we are not going to punch out this pin all the way, as it will be pretty difficult afterwards to get the pin back in. So just like this, that's how much you want the pin to be out. And the same thing with the other pins, we're gonna make sure to give it a good cleaning. Try to get between the swing arms. And again, same thing with this side. Try to clean the inside of the holes as best as possible. For these swing arms, it's a little bit harder. Right. And now we can begin the process of lubricating everything. We're going to show you the process of lubricating the pins and the suspension. For this process, you're going to want to use an extreme pressure grease. This type of grease is going to last a lot longer than your typical white lithium grease or silicone type grease. So we'll grab a good amount and we'll spread it along the pin, just like that. Same thing for this one, make sure it is really looped up. And then for the suspension, because the holes are much smaller, I am going to have to use something to put the lube through. In this case, I am going to use a small sized Allen key, but you can use something else like a chopstick or a straw. And for the suspension, we're gonna lube the very bottom of it right here, and a little bit on the top as well. So next, we'll lubricate the swing arm shaft. So for this pin, it's the same thing as the other ones. Just really make sure to lube it up nice. Before we put any of the pins back, we're also going to lubricate the inside of the holes. For the top hole, if your finger's small enough, you can just use your finger. But again, you can just use an Allen key for this. For the bottom hole, since it's a little bit longer, you will definitely have to use something like an Allen key, but we also recommend using something like a grease gun if this is something you have. Try to get the Allen key as far in as you can and do circular motions to make sure it really gets everywhere. And now we'll start putting everything back together. So first things first, we will put back our suspension. I recommend, in order to do this easily, to loosen the suspension quite a lot, as you will have to compress the suspension yourself with your fingers in order to get everything aligned. So first, we are going to put our bottom pin back in. Just like that. And now we'll have to compress the spring. If you find that it's hard to compress it, play around with the red dial here and it should help. So make sure you put back your bushings on both sides. We'll line up our holes and just push the shaft through. Just like that. We will put back the screws that holds the suspension pins in place. So if you notice that the bushing is a little pushed out, it's normal. Once you start screwing in the screw, it'll push it in. Also, we recommend when putting back these screws to add a little bit of Loctite just to ensure that they don't get loose. So now we've got those tightened. We will punch back this pin. Just like that. Now when putting back this pin, you're gonna have to do certain adjustments to the swing arm for it to go through all the way and to line up. Make sure to wipe off any excess grease that's at the screw holes. And again, remember to reapply some Loctite to this screw. And next, we will retighten our suspension. For this, you can do most of it by hand, but there is a specific spanner tool that you can purchase. So to really tighten up the suspension, you'll want to use a suspension spanner tool. In this case, we are using a 3/4 size tool. And now once you've got your suspension adjusted to your liking, we're going to do one last big cleanup as there is a lot of lubricant on our scooter. And now the last and final thing before we complete everything, we are going to add a little bit of lubricant between the suspension neck and the swing arms. Again, we'll use an Allen key, or you can use a kitchen knife, a plastic kitchen knife. And same thing for the other side. And again, just clean up the excess lubricants. And now we just put back our rubber caps. After completing the full lubrication process, we recommend taking a moment to just jump on the scooter just like this, and this will really help everything get into place and to settle. And that is how you lubricate the front suspension and front swing arms on your Apollo Pro.